Carlo, Ancelotti, Don Carlo, Carletto. One of the game's greatest managers is rumoured to be heading for the back door at Real Madrid, probably in the least desirable way. He'll leave the club with presumably mixed feelings about what he's achieved for the club over the past 12 years, but also for how Los Blancos have failed this season. And as things stand at the moment, Don Carlo's curtain could fall after the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, as the media broke the news immediately after their Champions League quarter-final exit. This is their earliest elimination from the tournament in the last 5 years, since the 2019-20 season. And as crazy as it sounds, only the second time in the 21st century that Real Madrid have been knocked out in the quarterfinals, which is the random fact of the day, just for you. What's important for Ancelotti though is how he'll be remembered. Because if there is one manager who deserves all the flowers in the world for his class, aura, and legacy, it is exactly Carlo Ancelotti. Few of you may know this, but Ancelotti's coaching journey began earlier than you might think. He was an assistant to Arrigo Sacchi with the Italian national team, culminating in a runners-up finish at the 1994 World Cup. He then moved into club management, taking charge of the likes of Parma, Juventus, and AC Milan. With the Rossoneri, he won 2 Champions League trophies and a Serie A title. He then moved on to Chelsea, where he won the Premier League and FA Cup double, Paris Saint-Germain and the Liga 1 title, and Bayern Munich, where he won the Bundesliga. Ancelotti, well, he's the only manager to have won league titles in Italy, England, France, Germany, and Spain. However, it was in June 2013 that the most successful, memorable, and remarkable chapter of his illustrious career began at Real Madrid. After a disastrous 2012-13 season under Jose Mourinho, who finished trophyless and described it as the worst season of his career, it was clear that a change was needed. And that change came in the form of Carlo Ancelotti. Things started off a little slow for Madrid, especially in the league, as Los Blancos finished third behind Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. But on other fronts, Los Blancos were excellent. Ancelotti has set himself the task of winning the coveted 10th Champions League title, known as La Decima, one of the most incredible achievements in club football. But why was it so special for Real Madrid? Actually, there were 2 reasons. Reason number 1, no club had ever won the trophy 10 times, so it would have been remarkable for Madrid to become the first club to do so. But reason number 2, and probably the more important one, La Decima was becoming a more distant dream with each passing season. After winning the competition in 2002, they had to wait 12 years to lift the trophy again. And after a series of close and brutally disheartening exits just yards away from the dream, most notably between 2011 and 2013, when Madrid reached the quarterfinals in 3 successive seasons, fans were beginning to lose hope that they would see the team lift the trophy anytime soon. But Ancelotti's class, tactical brilliance, and versatility allowed the team to dream again, and he delivered the seemingly unattainable. In his first season in charge, on May 24, 2014, when Madrid came back from 1-0 down against Atletico Madrid to win 4-1, and that legendary 93rd minute Sergio Ramos header to send the game into extra time. The following season, 2014-15, was the opposite end of the spectrum, as Madrid were knocked out of the Champions League at the semis, failing to defend their title, finished second in La Liga, and were knocked out of the Copa del Rey in the round of 16 by Atleti. Overall, the season was even more painful for Madrid and Ancelotti as arch-rivals Barcelona completed their second treble in history. But even though Ancelotti's reign came to an end after just 2 seasons, it was clear to all that his time at Madrid was not over. Yes, the page was closed, but not the chapter. Afterwards, his managerial journey took him through some very notable clubs across Europe. He won a Bundesliga title with Bayern Munich, had a stint at Napoli, and then made a surprise move to Everton in December 2019. The appointment of a manager of Ancelotti's caliber at Everton was unexpected, leading to a mixture of excitement and skepticism among fans. Despite the challenges, he brought stability to the club, finishing 10th in the league, Everton's highest finish in 6 years, before leaving in June 2021 to return to Real Madrid. His homecoming was greeted with high hopes, and in his first season back, he reached for the stars again in 2021-22. He led the team to a La Liga and Champions League double, which was special as it was the only time in the Champions League era that this had been achieved, behind only Zinedine Zidane in 2017. Most memorable, however, was the way Madrid staged a series of unforgettable comebacks in the knockout stages. Against Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid overturned a 1-0 first-leg deficit with a stunning 3-1 victory at the Santiago Bernabeu, highlighted by Karim Benzema's 17-minute hat-trick. In the quarter-finals, there was another dramatic turnaround against Chelsea, with Real Madrid winning 5-4 on aggregate after extra time thanks to crucial goals from Rodrigo and Benzema. In the semi-finals against Manchester City, Real Madrid once again defied the odds, trailing 5-3 on aggregate in the dying minutes. Rodrigo scored twice in quick succession to level the score, and Benzema's penalty in extra time sealed their place in the final. And there, against Liverpool, Thibaut Courtois' goalkeeping heroics, a staggering 9 saves, secured Real Madrid's 14th European Cup. By the way, just before we move on, here's a reminder for you to subscribe to the channel so you never miss anything from us. Done? Okay, let's continue. Of course, Vinicius Jr. was also remembered for scoring the winner. All in all, Vini's rise to prominence that season could go down as one of Ancelotti's finest achievements at the club, as he completely revived the Brazilian's career. I'm sure that you all remember, before Ancelotti's arrival, Vinicius' talent was obvious, but he was terrible in front of the goal. That was the bare truth itself. It led to him being overlooked by Zidane, mocked by Benzema. All of this proved detrimental to Vinicius. But then, Ancelotti changed his entire career with a simple but effective piece of advice: take a maximum of 2 touches to improve your scoring. Those words, they subsequently worked like a charm for Vini, who finished the season with 22 goals in all competitions. He then went on to improve with each passing season, scoring 23 in 2022-23 and 24 in 2023-24. Now in 2024-25, he has 21 goals to his name, and with 8 games left in the season and the Club World Cup on the horizon, Vini is sure to set another personal record. So yes, we'd probably never have seen the full potential of Vini if it weren't for Ancelotti's magnetic presence and the way he treats each player individually. Because that is one of the big reasons for Ancelotti's success, his ability to connect with players on a personal level. He often emphasizes the importance of understanding players beyond their roles on the pitch, stating, "We are managing men, not players," while he was still at Everton. He's made it clear that this is indeed part of his philosophy and something he reminds himself of on a daily basis.
But how would you describe your footballing philosophy? You seem to adapt to whatever country or competition you're in.
It's difficult to say in one word. My philosophy is, first of all, you have to consider that you need to manage men, not players.
When it comes to his tactical specialities, this is where Ancelotti's brilliance shines through. Unlike other great managers such as Guardiola, Klopp or Mourinho, who follow a strict tactical philosophy and look for specific player profiles to fit their systems, Ancelotti excels at building his strategies around the squad he has. This flexibility allows him to maximize the potential of his players and build cohesive and successful teams without the need for major squad overhauls. Of course, many of you will say, well, I would be super successful too if I could manage Mbappe, Vini, Valverde and Bellingham all at the same time, and here we see how wrong these people are. It has been proven that the more stars and big personalities you manage, the harder it is to keep a cohesive and focused dressing room. The best example? PSG. Everyone was hyped when Messi joined Neymar and Mbappe. Everyone thought they were going to win the Champions League, and then, well, we all saw what happened. That's why there's no one like Ancelotti. Personally, I respect all the other great managers of our time, including the 3 names I mentioned a moment ago. But Ancelotti's flexibility and his emphasis on man management, it's out of this world. The same can be said of his unbeatable aura, his iconic raised eyebrow. Often displayed in moments of difficulty, it's become a symbol of his calm and analytical nature. The interesting thing is that he's always had this trick up his sleeve, but it's only really come to the fore when Madrid have been able to pull off a comeback at the most critical moments. Of course, pushed by a certain change or tactical switch from Ancelotti. But now, the question you've all been waiting for. What exactly hasn't gone right for Ancelotti and Real Madrid this season? First of all, I think this is a bit of an exaggeration. because Madrid are still in La Liga and they've reached the final of the Copa del Rey. Obviously, they've suffered a series of defeats, including the 2 against Barcelona and Arsenal. But it's undeniable that at the end of April, Madrid are still in contention for La Liga, and with 2 El Clasicos on the horizon, which could change the whole background of Madrid's season if they win both of them. So, it's hard to pinpoint a 100% reason for their poor form in 2024-25, but a lack of tactical cohesion, the ineffective use of 4 top stars in attack, and the absence of an elite ball-playing midfielder following the departure of Toni Kroos could be added to the long list of factors. That's why the upcoming Copa del Rey final against Barcelona, it represents a poignant opportunity for redemption, as well as being a chance to claim silverware. The El Clasico will also serve as a potential swan song for Ancelotti's illustrious tenure. However, the absence of Barcelona's key striker and left-back Robert Lewandowski and Alejandro Balde adds an unexpected twist to the narrative. It remains to be seen whether Madrid will get something after this poor season, but one thing is for sure, Ancelotti, he's a legend, and his legacy, indelible, calm, professional, versatile, respectful. Grazie, Carlo. Now we want to hear from you. If you're a Real Madrid fan, do you think Ancelotti deserves to be forgiven if he doesn't manage to win anything by the end of 2024-25? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Or, if you want to learn more about Desiree Doué and his ceiling as one of the top talents in European football, click on the video you see on your screen right now.